So it's that time of year again, Inktober. I've done Inktober for the last 3 years. This is my 4th year of doing Inktober, but it will be my 3rd year following the official themes. As you can see, I have a sketchbook all set up for Inktober. I will say that I did change the sketchbook I'm using this year to the De La Rowney Mixed Media pad. The reason why I'm doing this is because I did day 1 and it kind of went through the paper a lot, so I needed a heavier paper. I'm kind of sad though because I've used this for the past 3 years, but it's time to move on to a paper that can actually handle all of my mistakes and all of the ink that I put on it. So I've decided to retire my use of these sketchbooks for my Inktober series. It's the end of an era and I'm so sorry, Derwent. So if you see this sketchbook in the rest of the video, please bear in mind that I'll be using this one from day 2 onwards. So in terms of supplies, I actually have some quote-unquote new fine liners. I say new because I got them a few months back, but I've barely used them and they're still in their original packaging. So they kind of look like they're new, but they're not. These are some Unipin fine liners. They don't have the Unipin packaging, but they do have the casing that they came in. And then we have some Microns. I also have the Micron PN pen. Next we have one of my favourite pens, the Zig Mangaka Flexible Fine. This is a really nice kind of fude type pen. And I also have this in sepia as well. Also, an Inktober must is a Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. So this might be seen as controversial, but I'm actually going to be using colours during my Inktober. I have done for the past couple of years, so I'm going to still use coloured inks. So I also have the Zig Clean Colour Real Brush Pens. Just for examples, I have the purple and green. And the main reason why I'm going to be using coloured inks is because I actually have some. These are just some examples. I have a whole basket full of coloured inks. So I'm going to actually take the opportunity to use them. I also have brush pens that are similar to the Clean Colour Real Brush Pens. These are the Mozart brush pens. Something else that I'll be using throughout Inktober, which is significant, is my white gel pen. It will add highlights and it will fix little mistakes that I inevitably will make. Other things that I'm going to be using include this watercolour set. Now, I know it's not ink, but for on the go, I think this will be perfect. These are the Koh-i-Noor Brilliant watercolours. They have been said to look a lot like inks because they're very vivid in colour, and as you can see by these swatches, they are incredibly vivid and they're beautiful. Also, I'm going to be using some alcohol-based markers. These are just some Copic Chows and this is a Spectra AD marker. All of the supplies here I've shown are actually inks. I will say that this watercolour palette, it looks like ink and it stains like ink as well. So that is why I'm deciding to use this particular watercolour palette. Speaking of Scrawler box, so this was in August's box, but what about September's box? I'm not going to do an overall video for September's box because I'm actually going to show you the supplies in this video because they are perfect for Inktober. So originally I was going to create a separate video. While I was filming the original unboxing and I was opening it, I thought that all these supplies would be really good for Inktober, so I kind of wanted to club together everything. So this is the artist. I hope you can see it. The glare's really bad. I do apologise for it, but this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of what's inside this scroller box. I will say all of the supplies in the scroller box are going to be black. So first we have the Pentel colour brush. This is kind of like a bigger version of the Pentel pocket brush pen. So as you can see, it's bigger, it holds more ink. Then we have the Sakura Pigma BB pen. This is a brush pen with a felt nib. The previous pen had more of a brush tip with real bristles. This one is more of a felt, foamy kind of brush tip. Next we have a Stabilo Pen 68, the Edding 2200C permanent marker, the Zebra Sarasa porous pen, the Artline Sticks brush marker. I think I already had this pen. I'm not sure which box it came in though. You've got to watch back through my old scroller boxes to find out which one I already got this in. The Centro Pen 4606M pen. It also says that it's a CD, DVD and BD pen. And the last pen in the scroller box is a Derwent graphic liner. I think if you watch my 2017 Inktober supplies video, you'll probably find the graphic liners in there. It's actually nice to have another 0.1 fine liner because I'm very heavy-handed and destroy a lot of the finer nibbed ones very easily. Just to give you an idea of how these pens perform, I did some swatches and each pen lines up on the list here. When I say that this scroller box was perfect for planning out Inktober, it is perfect because the theme is complete blackout. And the scroller box challenge was Jazz Noir. I'm not really a big jazz person, and plus I'm going to be doing Inktober for the rest of the month, so I'm gonna leave the scroller box challenge, but I'm gonna take the supplies and hopefully use them during this month as well. So I hope you can forgive me for not doing this as a separate video by itself. So just like in last year's supplies video, I'm actually going to add in day one as a speed paint. Now, I tried out multiple angles with this speed paint, so I hope it's okay. Please tell me what you think of it, because I thought I would just try out different angles to see what angles would be the best to film particular art materials going down. So for this year, day one of Inktober was Poisonous. Day 3 of last year's Inktober was actually Poison, and I kind of wanted to link the two together but not be the same. So it was kind of like a follow-up, but it wasn't exactly the same. So this year you can actually see Camilla and her son Nicholas as more of the main characters. Whereas last year in day 3 of Poison, it was the teacups that were the focal point and Camilla and baby Nicholas were in the background. This time around you have Camilla and Nicholas in the foreground, and it's kind of like a bit of time has passed because you can see Nicholas is still a child. But I kind of thought poison in the way that Camilla is a poisonous personality and she tries to poison the mind of her son. I'm going to apologise in advance for the overhead view. The colours do kind of flicker a bit. I don't know what's up with my camera's kind of auto balancing of colours, but it does it really weirdly. I'm so sorry about that if that's annoying. I didn't realise it until after I'd finished all the filming and watched the footage back. I know I wanted to use a similar sort of colour scheme as I did with the previous year's Poison theme, so I kind of went with the green that I had last year, but I kind of wanted a different colour, something that represented Camilla more so. It felt more overwhelming, and one of my co-writers who helps me out with my OC Universe, Sammy, she suggested that I use a cool violet colour and also a vibrant warm green. That way I could kind of keep the same colours from last year but also have this new colour, which was Camilla's overwhelming sense of control. I'm not gonna lie though, this colour scheme is incredibly difficult to pull off without getting the colours too muddy. That's something I experienced last year with the green and the black. I kind of got the green a little bit muddy, especially in the smoke, because it just didn't really look right and it didn't have that pop that I wanted it to. Whereas this year, I think I got the balance just right without taking it too far. I wish I kind of would have left a little bit more white space, but in the end, I think with the washes, I got a decent result. However, I feel like I did lose the characters a bit, so that's why I now go in with markers, water-based markers like my Zig Clean Colour brush pens, as well as some Copics, just to bring the characters out of that purple mass of colour. After doing those washes, I kind of realised to myself that the paper really wouldn't take much more of me messing around with it, so I decided there and then that I would change the sketchbook type that I was working in. So just a disclaimer, the green colour was from the watercolour set, however I have now brought that said colour in Winsor & Newton ink because it was actually the colour I was missing, and the purple is actually the violet from a Winsor & Newton ink. If you would like to keep up to date with my Inktober, they'll all be posted to Instagram, and I might even live stream the process of some of my Inktober drawings. With that being said, you can click the subscribe button and then the little bell to be notified of every time I post or live stream. So that way you can catch a live stream if you want. I'm hoping YouTube works and sends out the notifications because sometimes it doesn't like to do that. But it is the best way to know that I am actually live streaming on my channel. This is the final image and there'll be a caption that goes along with the picture. This video is on the verge of wrapping up, so tell me down in the comments, are you doing Inktober this year? Are you following the official themes? Or are you doing it your own way? Or are you following another themes list? I'd love to know what you're up to this October. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!